Well, I don't know if anybody's there now because it's just reset. So apparently that was my fault. That one. I clicked the button. Give me a hello, or I'm here, or just I'm a lurking, or whatever. If anybody is there, the stream just reset itself. So the one viewer definitely got disconnected, and not sure if the other one's there. Oh, sorry. Somebody's back in the stream. Yeah, that's fine, my darling. Thank you very much. Just glad you're back. Okay, so it's up to there. Now my bet is that it's probably going to get to there, and I'm going to have to take the lid off before it expands any further. So we should see today just how much expansion we get out of this one, and whether we're ready to use it in. Well, it should be ready to use in about 2 days anyway. So fingers crossed, not only is it ready to use, I'm hoping it tastes nice. I've always been a very stubborn baker in the sense that, if I'm just baking for myself, I'll bake what I like, obviously. So that's normally white bread, or a white loaf, if you like. Good old OJ, just keep myself hydrated. A little bit of Monster Punch to keep myself energized. Sorry guys, needed my laptop charger. This was only going to be a quick 20-minute video, to be fair. So it's kind of my own fault, I'm not set up for it. But, et voila. There we go. So, seems you're the only one here at the moment, Mr. Latte. When you get a moment, if you could just comment and let me know if you'd be interested in seeing me do meatloaf for Thanksgiving. I'd like to send it to Barbecue Boy as well, but I don't want to wind him up. Would you be interested in watching me do something else for Thanksgiving? Yeah, just let me know in the comments. So, what messages are all just come through? I've only just got your message again, but it's one I've already seen, so don't know if you've just resent them or. Oh, okay, so for some reason your messages aren't coming up on my screen, but they are coming up on my phone. So, back. Welcome back. Well, I was just saying I'm thinking about doing a stream later on tonight with meatloaf for Thanksgiving. Like an English style meatloaf, obviously. But only if people are going to be here to watch, so. Right, so for some reason my computer's having a spaz out because I clicked a few buttons to send notifications and it's only just said welcome to the chat room to me. Right, so meatloaf essentially is just a ground up meat with. No, it's just essentially ground up meat. It's beef, pork, or lamb, or turkey, depending on what you want to actually make it out of. And then you would put some vegetables in, like your onions, maybe some carrots, some mushrooms, a little bit of seasoning. Normally, I just do salt and pepper. Can't beat the basics with mushrooms and onions. Roll it up. And then wrap the top or wrap the bottom if you want. Some people do the bottom as well, but I just like to put it on top. Just get normal bacon, back bacon, not streaky, because streaky bacon is far too salty for when you're doing meatloaf, because obviously there's already salt in the meat, and you're baking it all together. So once you've baked everything together, get everything together, and you mix it all up, and you put your breadcrumbs in. Some people, I like to put an egg in. It keeps it bound, keeps it together, and then you literally push it into a bread tin. So it's bake it like a loaf of bread. And then I like to put rations of bacon on the top. So people serve it with gravy, some people serve it with like a barbecue sauce or a tomato sauce. Depends on what your particular flavour is. I think I would probably do mine with a beefy tomato sauce tonight with some onions and mushrooms in the actual meatloaf itself, is what I'm thinking. Although I've got the bacon, I'll just have to buy mushrooms and beef and an actual loaf tin because I still haven't bought a loaf tin. Do all mine by eye. Yeah, basically a loaf of meat, yeah. Just trying to balance the scales out. So I can zero them to this bottle, this new glass. Oh, sorry. Oh, that was loud. Right, so it depends on what country you're in, really. I know that doesn't sound very, it's not very helpful. Sorry, I just need to weigh this quickly. 780 grams, says 770. We have things like roast vegetables, so carrots, parsnips, roast potatoes, and or potentially mashed potatoes, which is what I'll probably do with mine. So I would have mashed potatoes, carrots, parsnips, all roasted in the oven, mashed down. And I would probably do like a tomato beef gravy to go over the top. So a little bit of tang, a little bit of tomato, and a nice little beefy undertaste to go with it. A little bit of salt and pepper on top, keep it nice and fresh. 780, I need to take out 280, that will leave me with 500. 500 back in, that's going to be too heavy. Sorry, I'm just trying to do maths at the same time. Right, so we need to take 380 grams of this out. Wow, okay. Let's find another pot. Stick that in. Let's try this. Right, so this is a 400 gram pot, so I can't really get too much in it. So, Barbecue Boy, who was in the chat last night, he also has his stream, obviously. He's barbecue. He is worth watching as well, I've got to be honest. His is more like an entertainment show, filled with chaos. Well worth a watch. But he's actually doing meatloaf tonight for Thanksgiving, which is why I'm tempted to do it as well, just to wind him up. Yeah, I mean, you would say that, but I'm not sure if it's healthy when I know I can cook it because I've done it before, and he's doing it for the first time, and he's not using an oven, he's actually using a barbecue. So he's at an unfair advantage in a lot of ways, but the temptation is definitely there. Definitely there. So we just took out 380, left with 400, we just put 400 back in. Sorry, I'm just cleaning out the mixing bowl quickly. Alright, no problem. If anybody else has come into the chat, feel free to give us a shout, get any questions. If you want to know what I'm doing, because it just looks like I'm playing with some crazy stuff, just give me a shout and ask, it's not a problem. It's Ginger Kitchens, and I'm currently feeding my sourdough starters, or at least I would be if I hadn't lost my marbles. There we go. I lost my flour more like, but you know, marbles is a close one. Probably closer. Give it a taste, right. Sorry, just mixing up the feed. It's funny having a living dough essentially in your house. It's even more dependent on you than kids are. These kids can go off and do things during the day, and go play with friends, or they go and play upstairs, or they go and play with toys, or do all that. This doesn't. Sits around all day, does absolutely nothing. You still have to feed it. If you don't mind me asking, Miss Latte, when you're back, obviously I know you're on the phone at the moment, what you actually do for a job? For anybody who's just joined, because my viewer thing keeps getting up and down. So if anybody else is on the chat or just lurking, welcome. This is Ginger Kitchens. Mainly because I've got a ginger beard. As a Pappa bear, that's kind of what I get called, is ginger beard. So it seems, being ginger is a trend these days. I've been ginger for a long time now. I'll tell you now, it's not trendy. It just looks like I'm mixing a batter, I know, but it's actually just flour and water, and it's just what you feed your sourdough starters on. Now, bear in mind, even if you started a whole grain or a whole wheat or a whole bran or a half and half like the next one we've got, you'll see, they can all be fed with white, because the white is it's called exosperm, something like that, and endosperm, something like that. It's essentially just the sperm of the flour, of the corn. One disgusting version of what it is. But it's actually the part of the actual grain that is what the yeast feeds on. The bacteria feeds on, turning into sugars and allows the yeast to the sugars causing carbon dioxide to form. Then you end up with all these nice, beautiful bubbles inside your flour, and obviously if you're a sourdough starter, you end up with a nice tangy bread. Now I know that sourdough is supposed to be thicker on the outside, like a good solid, with a nice crunch and pop, and everybody's supposed to be brown. Don't like mine brown. Don't like it cooked to the point where it's so hard I can't even season it. That would just be a disaster. Beautiful little bread that you just can't eat. No thanks. What's the point in that? So I do mine a little bit whiter. Now I also, as you can see by this one, this is a completely white flour sourdough starter. Which I also got told couldn't be done. Can be done. And here's the living proof, literally living proof. I had to buy a bigger jar for it because it kept bursting its banks, kept losing my dough. If I wasn't losing it, I was having to get rid of some. I don't like getting rid of some, especially since it's only a fresh dough. I mean, this is only 4 days old now, 3 days old. So it's not that old, but so you might want to update. From this point on, though, it's probably going to be a sourdough update every other day. We're going to be doing at least 3 streams a week of some description. On top of those 3 streams, I will be doing at least 2 morning kitchens, like where I make the bread and I'll show you how the sourdough's coming on. The sourdough starter's getting on, sorry. For anybody that was in the stream yesterday afternoon, which I think was yesterday afternoon, it may have been late morning actually, you would have seen the reaction I was having. Well, to be fair, I think most of my stream is still up on Twitch at the moment. It's under food and drinks, so they haven't clocked all this music in the background yet. Give it 24 hours, it'll probably be muted. Oh, I think I've just been followed by Chef John. I need to download OBS because apparently the stream elements in that work a lot better. I can actually see who is or isn't on, or whether it's actually just lying to me or not. You know? So let's put a little bit of lard yeast back in. Alright, just a little. Mix that back in like this. And I've just fed the lard yeast the exact same amount before I put in. Now that little bit you see me put back on top, it's just a bit I like to keep separate to make sure that, you know, before I mixed it in with the others, see. Because those two can get mixed together now, and they can go in with a half and half. Bear in mind I need one of these pots for the half and half, because if I really like the half and half as much as I think I'm going to want to be keeping a full pot. I'm not keeping a full pot because obviously I'll use it. So what you've also got to remember is as well, for anybody who is planning on using sourdough, you need to remember, take out what you need to use before you feed them. Because once you feed them, you have to wait at least 12 hours for the reaction to be, well, I'd say complete, but it's not complete after 12 hours, not with mine. And this is the longest I've left them so far. We're now almost at lunchtime, so I'm 3 hours late on the feeding, essentially. That's okay. I wanted it to be a bit later, so I'm not rushing around all the time trying to feed my sourdough. But I've been told that I can leave these up to 48 hours and I wouldn't die, but I wouldn't like to risk it. Want to see how high that is in a minute. Now we have the half and half. Welcome, whoever's just joined us. I now apparently have 3 viewers. So we're doing well. We are doing well. Give us a hello in the chat if you're there, and if you want to, obviously. Yes, this isn't a cafetiere, by the way. It burst its banks yesterday and caused me some serious issues. Happy Chef is now dancing, apparently. That's good for you. And I may consider doing some dancing myself if these go really, really well. Welcome to the Ginger Kitchens, whoever it was that's joined us. Feel free to say hello or ask any questions you wish. So, let's see what we can do. I'm going to put this in here for now. Don't want it to go to waste. This is the half and half, so it's not going to cause a problem there. What it may cause a problem with is expanding out the top. Equal amounts. Oh, almost equal amounts. Oh, now we may have a problem feeding again. But now you can see why it's kind of got to the point where I need bigger pots for them. You know, when you can't even fit what you need to in the jar. Okay, so this essentially hasn't been fed. This hasn't been fed, no, essentially hasn't been fed at all, because all I actually did there was took the run over from the other two, put them in this one. Stir it in. Now, I am going to feed it. Don't, there's no way I wouldn't feed it. I don't want to kill my sourdough. But this is a big butt. I like big butts. I cannot lie. At some point, I'm going to have to think about how much of that I need to take out. See how I've still got some of this one left as well. I don't like the idea of wasting it, but at this point, I don't think it's quite mature enough to bake a loaf. I may be wrong. It may be so wrong. So wrong. So even Mario coming out, show me age. So about 150 grams of wholemeal left. And I've got the better part of 800 grams worth of half and half that I now need to take some out of. So maybe making some sort of bread shortly with the sourdough mix, just to see what it comes out like. I might even make it as like flatbread or whatever, stick it in a tray, see if it, I don't know. 300 grams of that is supposed to go in with 400 grams of flour, 150 grams of water, I think it said, to compensate for the lack of water in the other half, if you like. But I don't think that's going to need any water in it. So days to soak up, it's not, extremely glutinous, gelatinous as I think you like to call it. But we do know exactly, don't we, guys? Because it's gone absolutely mental for the last 2 days. It would help if we turned the scales on, wouldn't it? Get it was all clean. Slightly inaccurate way here. Maybe. Just switch that out. Now, I do forget the general rule, guys, to drink my drink while I'm cooking. Now, at the moment, the oven's not even on, it's not warm in here. It's not stressing me out or anything. But I generally forget, so I will be setting up a hydrate button as soon as I can get some sort of buttons up. Oh. Until then, if you all like to remind me, that'd be great. Okay, so I haven't even took out half of it, and that's 450. That's already 150 more than what is needed to make a loaf of bread. So, we'll leave that there. It also, however, means I don't think you're going to be able to fit today's feed in. Because that would take that up to a kilo, ladies and gentlemen. What? Alright, that's crazy over. Crazy over. Okay. Okay, well that's all pretty much half and half now, so several hundred grams of that. So we might have to throw some flour in, throw it in an oven, throw it on top of the oven, think of that, sir, because yeah. Right, so half and half. We'll do 150 of whole, 150 of white. Yeah. See, I mean, this could get expensive on a daily basis if you're not using it, and obviously the first week to 12 days you don't use any, not for cooking, you're just essentially throwing it away. Which is why you should start with such a small pot, which I did. There's no denying that. I started with a real small amount, smaller than what was recommended, and yet, look at me, I've still got more than I know what to do with. Even to the point where I've run out of distilled water. In 4 days, though, I wasn't expecting to get this fast. So, nice. So now we're making a mixed flour goop. Now this one takes off so well every day, it's unreal. That's because it's got the yeast in it and the natural bacteria from the sperm, from the bran and the derma that's inside, and then it has the extra from the white of the sperm, essentially. So let me go 1 second. Village views, we ain't bothered. We ain't bothered with a little local magazine. Apparently I've got 3 people watching, but unknown people are talking. Now I know that Ms. Latte is working, so that's all good. And whoever the other 2 lurkers are, if you want to say hello, just give us a shout, let us know you're there. That would be great. So that just goes to prove, by the way, see how thick that is compared to the stuff that we just pulled out. And that is because the whole grain soaks up the moisture quicker than the white. Sorry, slower than the white, but more than the white. the brine essentially holds more. It takes a few more minutes to soak in properly, but as soon as it soaks it in, it literally soaks it up like a sponge. Like I say, if there's anybody in the chat, welcome to the Ginger Kitchens. I am Papa Bear, also known as Mark for those of you that don't want to use my nickname. I know there are a few people out there get a bit funny about calling other blokes Papa, but it is just because I'm as big as a bear, and I growl like one too. At least my kids will tell you that. I don't understand Papa Bear. I want to poke him when he's got a sore head. So, you know. I was actually given the name because I give bear hugs. I used to. If you dare give somebody a bear hug these days, you'll be arrested on the streets. It's funny because around here they are arresting people on the streets. Because of COVID, obviously. Well, under the flag of COVID, I should say. I'm not saying it is actually right or what they're doing is just or true or anything. I'm just so It's just me feeding it in. Yeah, that's going to cause me problems today. I already know that, but it's funny because I said yesterday during the stream I need to find somewhere else to put that. Then let's just press mix. Mix that lot in with it. Stick some flour in and see what we get, eh? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good daytime. I don't know what time it is today for everybody. I'm not even sure, like I say, if the count was correct because I was informed yesterday that the Twitch viewer counter can quite literally say 100 and there'll be nobody there. So, quite depressing, but you know, good to know. That's the 3 sourdoughs fed for this morning. Let's see what we've got left over and what we can do with it. So, especially back in the old days, when your nan, your granddad, your nan's nan and granddad's granddad used to go home and his wife used to be cooking. This was the dough they used to use. Now, there was no way if they were starting a new start, they would throw all this away. I have to believe that they would use it for something. Now, I can't see how it would hurt you. I can't see it being any problems. I have tried Googling certain things and I get no definitive answers. But just flour water, ferment it for a couple of days. Can't see it being an issue. So we're gonna see how much we've got in weights wise, and then we'll go from there to see whether we can get full loaf, half loaf, semi loaf, flat loaf, no loaf, or just give it a bash either way. I don't know why I did that way around. I should have done the other way around. I know, but today. Just want an overall weight to see what we've got of the sourdough. Start the type mix. Still think we don't have too much left over. So it's 486 grams. Almost a full loaf. I just realised because I got another one there. But isn't going to fit in here either. $486. That's no skills, right? That's just my sink area, by the way, guys. I've just got some pop in the corner that keeps throwing out. Wow, this is going to bring up to just under a kilo. Well, I've got enough here for literally 3 loaves of bread. And I ain't baking 3 loaves of bread today. Definitely not needing 3 loaves of bread today. Not after yesterday. It's far too much work for one day. It's not including the fact that I still have to sit down and do some actual work yesterday. Okay, so for a kilo, split it into rolls, I guess. Do some sourdough rolls. 2 people in the chat, give me a thumbs up or give me a 1 if I should do sourdough rolls. Bear in mind that this is a fresh sourdough starter and they may not even rise. It may just be a waste. Or whether I should just do 2 big loaves and hope for the best. Bearing in mind that we won't get the results until tomorrow. If you want the results, obviously I don't mind live streaming the results. If you want to see the results tomorrow, just need some sort of reaction from you guys in the chat. So 1 for rolls, 2 for loaves, 3 if you want to see the results tomorrow, 4 if you're not bothered. 2 viewers, you get to do some voting, guys. 1 for rolls, 2 for a loaf. Let's just start with that. 926. So 900. It smells good. Looks funky. What do we do, guys? What do we do? Need half again, minimum, just to bring this up. So I don't want to waste this, and I don't want to waste my flour. So any kind of comments would be greatly appreciated. 926 I had. Let's see, so let's say close to 450 as I can. Super cool. And there it is. It's bang on 450. What do we get? Any decisions there, guys? We get a decision from the chat whether we're making rolls or are we making a loaf. If we don't get a decision from the chat, I will probably just make a loaf. I'll just leave it in this bowl to proof overnight. Almost started to start the bubble again. Good reaction. So there's about 450 in there now. Alright guys, I'm just going to make a loaf. Get no responses from anybody. At this rate, I'm going to need some more flour. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the Ginger Kitchen. I'm Pappa Bear, also known as Mark. If you so inclined, give us a shout in the chat just to let us know you're there. And we're not just talking to ourselves. Oh, sugar. Let me put that in. Let's switch something out quickly. Mistakes that I made on live stream. Now I watched a guy put his dough in freezer bags and allowed it to proof overnight in the freezer bag, and then literally sliced open the freezer bag and just rolled it out and kneaded it again, put it in a proofing basket, and then was like, ta-da! But now there's a guy who knows what he's doing, not because of the way, how easy he made it or any of that crap, just because, just knew what he was doing. I have confidence to try and make sourdough. I do not have confidence just to stick it into a completely airtight bag and leave it for 24 hours. I'd be too windy to flap myself up when I bake it. But lo and behold, yeah, beautiful gravy loaf. Cheers, guys. Well, for any of those of you who are still here, sticking in, thank you. For those of you who just jumped ship to go to Chef John, I can't say I blame you. I don't know what it's meant to be, but this one does seem a little bit stickier than my usual goes. We'll find out, won't we? We shall all find out together. At least somebody's still with me, that's the main thing. See how this goes, shall we? So, as I was saying yesterday when I was kneading that dough, just remember, even though it seems wet, it's supposed to be wet until it's stretched out. And as you've seen with the pizza dough last night, it does eventually stick to itself and it goes smooth and stops, sticking to you. But until that point, so keep scraping, I'm afraid. Even if it sticks to the bottom of the dish itself, scrape it off. More scraping. Don't know how many lurkers we've got out there in a minute. Oh, I've definitely got one lurker. Worker and lurker, I should say, because she is working. I can make the assumption it's a she because she's got a Miss there. So, got to go phone's ring, the last thing I heard. You still there, Miss Latte? You still working? I guess if she's there, she'll put something in the chat. a bit quiet there. Did the same yesterday. When it comes to kneading bread, for some reason I can't knead bread and talk at the same time. My brain goes dead and, you know, gets sucked into the kneading of the bread. And then I get lost in the whole process. But therapeutic at times. If only we could hang it up in the ceiling and give it a punch, you know, like a punch bag. Really take our frustrations out of it then, wouldn't we? So this may be just a little bit sticky. Like I said, this is a kind of weird loaf. This isn't me measuring anything out. Also on unfamiliar territory because I'm using sourdough starter. I have no idea how this is going to taste, how it's going to turn out, or anything. All in all, it's about 35 to 40% of it is whole grain. It's got to be better than white, I guess. I don't know. So they say that white flour is bad for you, go for whole grain. But the white flour is already in the whole grain. Well, it wouldn't be the whole grain, would it? So, just get this mess up. Some more work surface to work with. You still with us, Miss Latte, or are you just on a really long call this time? You're just lurking in the background. Don't want to get you into trouble, by the way, so if you're at work and you can't answer, just don't. Don't get yourself into trouble just to answer in the chat. It's not worth it. So, sorry, we're just cleaning my hands up, getting rid of some of the dough. Is there anybody in the chat right now that had any preferences? Because I've only going to reset anything to me. Whether you want buns or whether you want a loaf. Nothing. It's fine, I can deal with that. Nothing it is. It's a little bit of a follow though. I could have followed this way, I don't think they are. Didn't need that much, it was just what fell out, I'm afraid. Now kneading doesn't need to be done with both hands, by the way. It can just be done with one. All you're actually doing is stretching and ripping, pulling all the fibres of the proteins and the yeast and the gluten. And then what you're doing is just stretching the gluten and you're making it stronger and more elasticated. So eventually you'll be able to pick it up do this look. So it goes so far and starts to rip. Eventually it won't rip. It'll just keep stretching. Well, eventually it'll snap, but you know. At least you won't get this where it sticks to your hands. Get rid of dry flour. Just to dry it out of the surface. Pull the straight off fingers with. I even do this before I wash my hands when I've been using dough. Doop, doop. Alright, then we've got this. Put it back on the surface. When we get your scraper, you can always scrape the stuff that's sticking to the surface like this, look. Pick it back up, pick it around. Try not to let it move, try not to let it sit too long. Actually worked it. You work it. And if you're worried about a timer, all I actually have to do is look at the elements at the bottom and it should tell me a timer. An hour and 2 minutes for been streaming. I've been kneading for about 3 minutes. So this is only going to get a 5 minute knead. Maybe it's a little bit longer depending on how sticky it still is in 5 minutes time. Really excited actually to see what this turns out like. But once I've made this dough, I need to go and do a little bit of research. Because not only is this a sourdough, it's a half and half mixture, or you know, slightly more on the white side bias, but it's definitely a mixture. It's not something I've ever cooked with before, half and half. So I need to go and just have a look, and I need to see if anybody actually made a half and half sourdough at any point, because that would just be so much closer to the mark for me. See how stretch we get, won't be much. See how most of it didn't stick. This is a little bit moist for what I need, but it will soak up the moisture eventually. It's also very, very cold, so once it warms up, it starts to get more stretchy as well. Sorry guys, I'm still here. It's not a credit card. We got New York slice, I'm guessing. It's not a credit card, it's my blood donor card. I actually cleaned it when I first got it, when it first came through the door, and it's been in with my bread stuff ever since. I've had it 10, 15 years now. It's actually outlasted my bread scraper and 2 spatulas. So it does really well, to be fair. But welcome to the stream. This is this one doesn't leave my kitchen. Welcome to the Ginger Kitchens either way. It's good to see that was the first thing that crossed your mind. We've just redone our refed our sourdough starters this morning. We do that most mornings. Just decided to start streaming it, and we had some leftover starter. So this would be the first attempt that I've ever had to make sourdough, well, sour bread. And as you can see, it's coming out fairly stretchy, but it's also a little bit sticky. And I don't know if it's meant to be as sticky as that because it's hella sticky. But we all learn together. Got a little bit of excess flour here. Just, try and help it along the way. So I'm guessing you're in New York Slice. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do a slice of, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, less sticky. Yeah, my normal doughs are normally less sticky, to be fair. Like I said, this is a new one on me because I've never used sourdough before. Slices of pizza, okay. Do you make pizza then in New York, I'm guessing? Do you have your own store or your own stream or something? So is it just pizzas, or like I said, do you have a stream and a store, or sorry, I'm just in the sink. Wow, that just seems really sticky. You still with us there, New York Slice? Or are you just nipping in? It's really sticky. Really sticky. Thank you for the follow. I haven't actually set up my follow notifications yet, so it didn't come up. I really appreciate that. All the help possible, trying to get new streams off the ground. So let's see what you said. Nice. Home cooking's always good. It's good to see. So you're a gamer. So what sort of games do you like? I'm assuming you stream games, do you? Home cooked since 6. Strong cook for 10 years. Okay. What restaurant are you in, if you don't mind me asking? Well, I've never had a dough that's this sticky. Really strange. Alright, okay. Yeah, I was a big fan of the COD Zombies, to be fair. Used to do lots of Call of Duty Transit, like the zombies on Transit. I think it was called Transit. So if you don't stream, what games do you play now then? Obviously, they're not streamed ones you stream, obviously, but I'm assuming you still play games. Nice. So you got a nice little bit of experience there in several different kitchens. Custom PC, right? I've recently got into Rust. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's very, very violent and very, very toxic, to be fair. I don't know if you've ever heard of Rust. Our last streams were empty outside my grill. Nice, okay. What did you do on the food and grill? Big country for. Yeah, I'm afraid I've worked in several kitchens throughout my life, and I'm too passionate for the food to work in the modern day kitchen where they use modern day appliances that just ain't that great, Okay, I don't think this story's coming out. No matter how much I work it, it's not getting any less sticky. Like I said, this one was just an experiment because I had some leftover starter. I wasn't sure if the starter was even ready yet because the starting this only needs 2 more days or so to go. Bread is one of my things I enjoy cooking a lot. But this has just turned into a very stretchy nightmare. And if there's one thing you don't want to do with any dough, is keep throwing flour at it because it'll just soak it up and soak it up and soak it up. So we'll probably chalk this one down for a bad experience. Just make an actual loaf. Do you have a favourite food that you like to cook? I'm assuming pizza is probably one of your favourite foods as well. You made pizza last night for me, Came out a lot better than my daughter. So I'm just washing my hands and I'll go and take a look at what you've got. I'm going to do grilled steak, Sorry, bear with me. Usually steaks. Easy to eat. See, I love a good steak, but I'll have to watch one of your streams because most people burn them too much, and I like mine rare, even on a barbecue. Wow, well, not to sell for the future. Figure that one out before you start throwing all these ingredients at the bowl. Let's have a look, let's have a look. Sorry, to catch up with the chat. Come on. That's it. I've got to grace. I think it was. But he is. Ah. Ooh, I like a good chicken palm. Okay. I haven't sorted an Instagram out yet, but I will certainly go and have a look because I'm certain you can still look at other people's stuff when you haven't got an Instagram. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there. If you want to put a link in the chat, I don't know if you can do that either, actually. This is what the stream was originally about. Okay, well, feel free to, if you've got a link for both, and if you can put a link in the chat, put the link in. If not, if you want to private message me a link, I can go online and actually take a look. So, white bread sourdough starter. As you can see, it's quite lively, but it's just been fed, so, you know, it'll be a lot more lively later on. And then I've just got a whole grain and a mix. So as you can see, that the bubbles coming through the jar quite well. It's very lively. But we had an overflow spillage issue yesterday, where the white one burst its banks. So we lost the whole load. Welcome back, Miss Latte. I like the way you said the first one is just pizza. Strictly pizza. Oh, maybe I'll be ringing you for some tips for toppings. How's work going, Miss Latte? You having anything good for lunch? Probably not a great thing watching a cooking stream, but you know, Same old. Same shit fucking day, I'm afraid. Tuna pasta. Is that tuna pasta salad or tuna pasta bake? I definitely will be making an Instagram. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, this is a relatively new stream anyway. It's the only place on the internet where they like to make mistakes on screen, like this. You've never done tuna pasta bake? Oh, it's one of the world's easiest things to do. You literally go, as long as you've got good pasta, just cook part blanche, you put your pasta up, stick it in literally a great big Pyrex dish, like something like this. A nice clear Pyrex dish, nice and deep. And then just put a couple of tins of tuna in on top, mix it in. And I use passata. Oh, where's it gone? It's gone. Did I use the passata? It would seem so. Okay, so normally I would just use passata, which is just basically tomato juice, essentially. With some onions. Sorry, I've lost myself now. What was I doing? Yeah, so some onions, fry them up, you put some mushrooms in, just throw it all in. Depends what you like. If you like onions with your tuna, then yeah, that's great. If not, then you know. No, tuna pasta bake. So literally just put your pasta, cooked pasta, blanch pasta in there. Put your tuna in, then put your sauce on top. Just mix it all up. Put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. Pull it out. You want to put some breadcrumbs and some cheese on top. Throw it back in for another 5 minutes. When it comes out, you are asking for a treat when that comes out. Something about warm tuna. Well, look at it this way. If you're eating tuna out of a can, it's already been cooked. So it being cold seems a little bit weird to me. When you say casserole, you want casserole or you thought talking about casserole? Because I can do a banging casserole as well. Many things I can't do to be fair. Yeah, I mean, the thought of it can make you cringe. It's a bit like sushi. Like, people get all cringeworthy over sushi, but, you know, it's just fish. If you were starving, hungry, and you came across it, you'd eat it. So that's the way I look at it. Give it a try. If you don't like it, you know, you've lost a lot. New York slice, you put casserole. Was that because you thought we were talking about casserole, or because you want to talk about casserole? So I'm guessing Miss Latte, your name is Miss Latte because you like latte, I'm assuming. Toblerone casserole. No, I've never heard of that one. Toblerone casserole. I'll give it a go. I like Toblerone. I like the love casserole. Loves you some coffee. Well, I drink about 3 cafetières a day of coffee, and I make my own cold brew, and I make my own lattes, funny enough. And I do like a cold fridge latte. Oh, beautiful. It's not. It's not a casserole. It's tuna pasta bake. You're not casseroling it. You're not putting fluids in it or anything like that. You're just putting pasta, tuna, and some tomato sauce in. Yeah, I absolutely love cold brew. Problem is that I make 2 to 5 liters at a time, and I drink about 2 liters a day. On top of my cafetières, I might add. So yeah, I drink far too much coffee. But I found a nice. See, now this is one of the only milks that I have because I have a lactose intolerance. And for some reason, this is whole milk that's just dried out. It's full fat, it's still got all the fats and all the additives. It's got more of the natural stuff in it than actual milk has these days. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different tastes in the States. Most of my family's in the States, so I spend all night awake talking to them. So, I've eaten quite a few different things there as well. And I gotta admit, that's where I got my taste for cold brew. I went to America, I had one cold brew, and I was like, wow, I need more of that in my life. You're instantly addicted. What was I saying? Sorry, yeah. Got a real big thing for this stuff though. I literally will throw 2 scoops of this and 2 scoops of this and a scoop and a half of fresh coffee grounds into a jar, and I'll leave it for, I don't know. I tried to leave it for 48 hours, but it never lasts so long. So minimum sort of 24 hours, and you'll find actually once you filter it out and strain it, it's exactly the same as the one that they sell in the shops, especially around here. And it tastes exactly the same. Advantage you have with this milk is that when you rehydrate it, if you do it correctly, it actually is just rehydrated the same way they rehydrate the milk here. So, well, I started off in Clear Lake in California, and then I went to San Francisco. I lived in Santa Monica. I went all the way up to Canada and stayed in several different states on the way up. It was like a little road trip. And my fiance and kids are all in Washington State, not Washington DC. And strange, it's probably going to sound to some of you, I live a polyamorous lifestyle, and our other partner is actually at the moment in Florida, but she was living with us up in California. Due to circumstances and due to Trump's zero tolerance policy and my 2-day overstay, I was removed from the country 5 days before my daughter was born. So, yeah, it's a bit like that, I'm afraid. But got to try lots of different foods all the way up and down the East Coast and whatever. Hoping to get back there. As soon as I can to be with my family, obviously. But yeah, I used to go to a lot of like little restaurants or little barbecue places. Seems to be a lot of like pop-up kitchens in America. There also seems to be a lot of kitchens that'll be there 1 minute and literally 2 minutes later we're gone. So, there is that. Never made it to New York, although we were planning to go to New York. I just never made it there. Seems on. Right, so I'm going to see what happens with this. I don't think it's going to rise. I don't even think it's going to amount to anything. It finally stopped sticking to me, that was the thing. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say about that really. Like I said, it was made with sourdough, so uh, yes, I'd advise you, one thing I can advise you is to make sure that when you do anything with hot peppers, clean everything afterwards. Uh, yeah, I've done it myself where I came into a work surface once in the kitchen where I'd been cutting them directly on the work surface, these ghost peppers, because I like to make a hot and spicy sauce with ghost peppers, like a little chili sauce. Um, and I literally put my hands down on the work surface, did something, walked off, and I scratched my eye. When I scratched my eye, it just started burning, and I mean watery burning. It was not good at all. Do you not grow them anymore? Is that not something you do anymore? It's like I remember you saying you don't do a lot of cooking, but can you do any cooking? Welcome, welcome. We've got another viewer that's coming apparently. You are welcome to the kitchens. We are not going to be here for too much longer. We're going to go and raid Chef John, I think. I'm not sure yet. Um, I'm not sure if I'm starting my streams a little bit early for people because whenever I start them first thing in the morning, I don't have many viewers to be fair. But around this sort of time, the viewing polls kind of shoot up a little bit. So I don't know how to see who's in my chat either yet. I will get there eventually. Simple things, mostly stuff that's already cooked, frozen pastas, etc. Okay, well maybe like I say, if you want to do some cook-alongs and we can get some ingredients together and I can literally cook it at the pace of the person I'm cooking with, I'm more than happy to do that. Open up a Zoom room, get a couple of people cooking along, and always look at the food then and see if you think you're going wrong. Yeah, I am absolutely fan of the ghost peppers. They just have a distinct taste that I absolutely love. And everybody says to me, I don't know how you can eat them. I can't taste this distinct taste you're on about. All I can do is burn my face off with them. And I think that's great because I enjoy the taste. But my palate picks up the taste before it picks up the spice, so I'm quite lucky like that. Yeah, you do get all kinds of colours. Oh, I love using multicoloured peppers. Yeah, I have to do that. Might put some peppers in my meatloaf. I need to contact Barbecue Boy and see if he'd be really that upset with me if I did a meatloaf as well. Since that's what he's doing, but Okay, I mean, I get that you're shy, but you could just do it this way. I don't have to have a whole set of people in the Zoom room, or you can have your camera and microphone off and just turn it on if needed. Because I was in a chat, I could do it with Discord. It's even safer then. You can just literally just click a button and your camera goes off, click another one, your mic goes off. You'd still be able to hear me, and I'd still be able to see your food if you needed me to. Or even just like if you just wanted to literally cook along, you're more than welcome to. You've still got your pace. You just have to tell me to slow down in the chat. I'm looking at this, right? Chat comes up twice as quick on my phone, so I might as well look at this. You don't mind me asking, Miss Latte, where do you work? Since you're supposed to be at work. Okay. Remember rightly, did you tell me yesterday you live in Yorkshire? So you're not that far away from me. My memory's not great, but at least I remembered that. Okay, so you're not a million miles away. So what time do you work till? So that obviously, if I'm going to do an evening stream that you want to watch when I do like the banana bread or anything, then at least I can arrange it for time you're going to be able to see it. Welcome, welcome. I just got another follow, but I'm not entirely sure who from. There we go. PD Plays 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All people are welcome. We're just having a chat. We finished doing what I actually came on to do. Oh, dude. Well, I do know how you feel. Not quite with the septic, but I've had what 3 broken legs now. I'm doing quite well there. And I lost my job and my house and my car just before COVID as well. So happy Thanksgiving, Bobby Grimes. Nice to see you. Everybody's always welcome here. Thank you for the follow. I will be checking through everybody that follows me on stream, by the way, to see if you are streamers yourself, and obviously give you a follow back and jump in and see if I can watch one of your streams and see what you're up to. But everybody seems to be jumping in. Welcome to the Grid Ginger Kitchen. We have literally just about finished. I've just cleaned down. We were doing sourdough starters. So I've got an all white sourdough starter. You can see that very well. See the bubbles coming up through the edges. So that's coming up quite well. But then, look at that bad boy. Now that's a half and half. It's half white, half whole grain. Thank you very much, PD. Welcome as welcome. This one's gone nuts. This is actually only 3 days old. And it's got the life of like a 5-day-old. So this is almost 5 days old and has expanded out the top twice since I started it. I think it's because of the amount of bread I actually do in the kitchen and the amount of natural yeast that's around the air here, because I'm in the countryside. It's just accumulated so much quicker. But what I do is most mornings I will come on, I'll come in the kitchen, and I will feed my sourdoughs. And then from feeding my sourdoughs, I will go to making a loaf of some description. Now, this morning is the first morning that you ever used sourdough at all. Came out very, very much more sticky than I was expecting, but worked it, got something nice and flat, threw it in a tray. Gonna leave it now for the recommend 18 to 24 hours. So basically come back tomorrow and I'll check it out. But I only used it because I had some left over when I had the feed. Obviously, I had to dispose of some out of the lids, and I didn't want to waste it. So threw it in with some flour. We'll see what happens. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't rise, so I end up with some sort of flatbread, like a naan type thing. I don't put the lids on anything, especially not tight anywhere. So I don't want them to pop and explode, and they will literally explode on you if the yeast gets too accumulated. And yes, this is in my cafetiere, my larger cafetiere, because it burst its banks and I had nowhere to put it. And I only had the one spare jar. I do not intend on keeping all three. I do only intend on keeping either the white or the half and half, depending on what taste comes out of them. Because I'm not a big fan of whole grain flours, to be fair. I don't like the taste. But they should be ready to use by Monday. No, Sunday. So fingers crossed, we'll have some good sourdough by Monday because, like I said, it takes 24 hours to rest sometimes. So that's the way it goes. I meant to keep my skills sharp at home. Yeah. You're meant to be, yes, but it doesn't necessarily mean you will. Yeah, sorry, like I was saying, I've had 3 broken legs and whatever, and I lost my job and my house because I lost my job, I lost my house, and my car's engine mounts broke all at the same time, literally just before COVID kicked in, and I've been in lockdown ever since, unable to get another job. I am a live-in nanny as a profession, so I've done for 6 years now. Before that, I was a care and senior nurse. I've always had more than one job, so I've always worked in kitchens or and had another job. And I used to deal in land management and vermin control. I've done that for over 20 years. So yeah, it kind of keeps you busy, but lockdown kicked in and I just lost my last job. So nobody's looking for nannies, childminders, if you like. Yeah. To be fair, I'm only streaming. I'm not streaming to make any money. I'm not doing it to try and make a career out of it. I'm doing it because people are stuck in lockdown, and a lot of them don't know how to cook. Not because they don't want to, just because they've never been taught, or they have questions, or they can't understand why the bread goes flat, or it doesn't rise, or can't understand the difference between the different types of yeast that are needed. And that's, if I can help one person figure something out, then great. That's all that I want to do. You can see I haven't done any of my stream elements yet. I haven't even done OBD, hasn't even been downloaded properly yet. Done no overlays or anything. This is just thrown together. Bearing in mind that the only other thing I've ever really streamed is games. So World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Fallout 3, all them sort of games. But they're on my other account. Although I did accidentally stream some of my World of Warcraft on this account the other week, apparently. But good. Yeah, I tried eBay for a while. Thank you, PD. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, he's PD Plays. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and keep my content as relevant as possible. We're going to be doing COVID Kitchen on Monday mornings. So Monday morning you come in and I will show you the morning routine. We'll start off with sourdough feeding, move into making a loaf or making rolls, depending on which way the vote goes. Oh, chat coming through on one, but not on the other. Yep, I had 3 legs, 3.5. They chopped 1.5 off for me. Yeah, we're going to do the COVID kitchen. So anything that you can buy during COVID, or anything you struggle to find during COVID that you can't buy, I will quite gladly show you how to make. I'm also showing people how to use products that are readily available. So instead of going out to Booker's, the wholesale, if anybody that's in Britain knows what Booker's is, it's a giant wholesale that sells everything at the price you would need it for a restaurant. They also supply Happy Shopper, which is like a little corner shop here, and they just have a cheap, cheerful 75p bag of flour, all-purpose, contains calcium carbonate, iron, and thorium. So basically, that's like cheapest sort of stuff you can get around here, just to prove that you can cook with anything. I can make pasta out of it, I make bread out of it, I make pies out of it, I make desserts out of it. I obviously did buy this at Booker's because I got an entire case of it. However, it still worked out cheaper for you in the shops than it would, you know, to buy it this way. Don't get me wrong, if you go to some of your supermarkets, you'll get better flour at the right price. But most places around here, you just don't. So that is the theory, is that anything that you could buy, so powdered milk was really hard to find around here when COVID kicked in the first time. Everybody was stockpiling it, including baby's milk. People were literally going to the shops to buy baby's milk to keep in their cupboards for their tea and coffee. People were struggling to get it for their kids. Advantage of this is it's 100% natural whole fat milk. You can feed this to your kids and it won't do them any harm. So it's handy to have on the shelves, and I've always liked to have some in because it's the only milk I can have. Normal milk that comes pasteurised from the stores, I can't drink it. Fresh cow's milk, we get it from the farm. Oh my god, it tastes absolutely gorgeous and it doesn't hurt. So it's definitely some of the additives that they put in to preserve the foods that cause me trouble. I'm supposedly lactose and yeast intolerant, but as you can probably imagine, since I make a loaf of bread every morning, I can't be that intolerant to it. Like to suck it to the man if you like. That's just the way that is. Yeah, sorry, like I was saying, Slice, I tried the eBay thing, but a long time ago when it was pretty new. I said pretty new, it had been out a couple of years. But I used to go to the auction houses as well, so I'd go and buy items from the auction houses, great big boxes full of just random stuff. I don't know whereabouts, around yourself, but we used to have one that was for customs and export. So anybody that had tried to come in or out of the country that had stuff taken from them, that would be sold at the auction. So you'd buy it dead cheap. I came out with 2.5 cases of Bombay Sapphire gin, and I paid something like £2 a bottle for it. They were litre bottles. And the idea was I was going to sell them. Yeah, don't buy anything you like drinking yourself to sell, because you're just never going to sell it. I think I probably sold 1 bottle in the time I drank the rest of it. Might give one away as a gift. Tasted good. It's the main thing, I guess. So, but if any of you got any suggestions, or any of you have got anything you'd like to be cooked, like I'll be doing for Miss Latte, she wanted banana bread. So at some point in the next, I wouldn't say a week, but in the next month or so, next 6 weeks there, I will be doing the banana bread. Need to know what time you finish work, Miss Latte, so that I can make sure I do my stream when you're about, or I'll just do it on a weekend, I guess. But be nice for a midweek treat, wouldn't it? Nice bit of banana bread. But if anybody else got any suggestions of stuff they want cooking, let me know. And if it's not something I've cooked before, I will still quite gladly give it a go. If it goes badly, the next time it should go better. Okay, that's cool. But for some reason, my chat is coming through on my phone 2 minutes before it comes up on the screen. So, yeah. Alright, that's not a problem. So what I'll probably do is, if you're doing shifts, I will figure out which week I'm going to do it. It might be next week or the week after, actually, because every time I say banana bread, man, I want banana bread right now. It makes me want it, because I love bananas. I was known as Banana Man at one point in my life, because I used to eat a bunch of bananas, at least one bunch every day. And we used to be able to get them fairly cheap around us, so, I used to buy a bunch of bananas for like 20p. Eat a bunch of bananas is nothing. So I may be back on tonight, guys. I'm not sure because I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the stream I want to do. Purely because I don't want to stand on the feet of the guy who encouraged me to do the stream, which is Barbecue Boy. He's doing meatloaf for Thanksgiving this evening. We'd like you all of you to tune in on Barbecue Boy. It's absolutely brilliant. It's more of an entertainment than it is a cooking show. It's a guy in his barbecue, basically just trying to please his wife. It never works. She is his harshest critic. It doesn't help that she doesn't like meat and he's doing barbecue. So I would imagine it doesn't work out in his favour. But please come and give him a view today. He's starting at 7 o'clock, I want to say. I will find out for you. Because it's definitely worth a watch. Come on, Twitch, you go quicker than that. Come on, thank you. Here we go. Schedule. I don't know if any of you got Barbecue Boy on your friends list. You really should have if you haven't. So his schedule for this evening is 7:30. Midweek food and drink. I know for a fact that he's doing meatloaf for Thanksgiving. So please tune in. You can heckle him as much as you like. He has a chaos and a fire burn button. So you'll soon know if he's in the chat. I don't know if I can use it on my chat actually. I should be able to. They want Happy Chef ones as well. Chef John Reed. Ice Cream Posse. Oh, he's got to be in here somewhere. Guns, if any of you get a chance to watch Guns, she is an absolutely brilliant DJ. Would recommend her all the way. Oh, chat. There you go. Barbecue Boy, Burn, and Double Chaos. I'm going to have to take this chat bubble off my actual window, I think, because it's way slower than the actual chat. So if I have missed anything, I am sorry, guys. But we are going to go raid an actual chef, somebody who's cooking right now. Oh, is he cooking? What is he doing? What's he doing? Happy Chef. Oh. Take another one, by the way. Yeah, next year we're going to do that then, Swan. Remind me of. Okay, so yeah, we'll go on. We'll raid him and see what he's up to. And I will hopefully see you all tonight if I come on again. If not, I will be on. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow or not, but I will be putting up a schedule today. Alright guys, so thank you all. I cannot express how grateful I am that you're all here. And just, thank you. And I hope to see you all on the next stream. Any suggestions, guys, send me a private message and I will gladly cook them for you. Alright, so look. So, apparently do some fun. Did it last time. Right, so red. /red space Happy Chef TV. Enter. Thank you, PD. I appreciate that. I really do. Some streams obviously have a little bit more substance than others. So, like yesterday we were doing sourdough and we made the pizza dough and then we made an actual pizza, well, 2 pizzas, funny enough. And then I'll show you where you need to stop and things for freezing them so that you can do them later. So, I mean, there is content. On a morning, I normally do my morning preparation. So it would be the sour starters, making the bread that I need to make for the day, and then preparing any food that I need for meals that I'm going to cook during the day. So you'll get a little bit of time to ask me questions and or tell me what you'd like. Have a good day, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. You know, don't let the man get you down. Do try. And so everybody say good morning to Happy Chef. Oh, we're doing something.
Yo, most welcome excessive. I just thought let's share some love back, man. It was always super lovely in my channel as well. And I saw you were live, so I thought let's show some love, you know. Debonairco, what's up? That looks absolutely amazing. Thank you, Ercho. Appreciate that, Bon. Thank you, man. Everyone, for the famous shake. Abracadabra, Flintstone Vipers. Let's go, famo. Oh, that's a good prize, Brave Scout. $130 for a Hero 5. That's definitely a good one. Pretty good, bro. Thanks, excessive. Yep. Yeah, where's the cat? Where's the cat?
Welcome to the food cave.
She's on the road. Follow me, that chicken. When Happy Chef's gone, I'm gonna get that chicken. PD Plays, thank you for the follow. Welcome everybody, good finds, good food. Appreciate the follow, my dude. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's fun, man. Yeah, sorry for a little bit more boring content because we're waiting on the yakiniku, but it's really gonna be a nice dish, guys. Soon, in about 20 minutes, we're gonna add the potatoes, the onion, garlic, and the bell peppers. It's gonna be good. Temperature is very nice. And what I like to add myself is a little bit of extra wet cherry wood. So I'm gonna do that. Did I do that?
Did I do that? No reference.
You got that. Thank you, legend. Yeah. Close it to get a little smoky flavor. Yo, motherfucker, Steffi. Foodie fam always got some nice food ideas in the chat, you know? Oh, that sounds like a shake wood chip grill. Make me crazy, man. Oh, Ginger Kitchen, thank you for the host, by the way. I didn't even saw it. Appreciate it. Welcome in. And thank you for the follow from PD Plays. Appreciate it, man. And definitely don't forget to share some love with Ginger Kittens. Let me drop inside some cup of coffee. I'm going to take another coffee breaker.
Yeah, I'm doing a coffee now. Time for coffee and
Welcome to the food cave. Good vibes, good foods. Thank you for the follow. Woo!
Joy Lala, thank you too for the follow. Welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Good vibes, good food. Thank you for the love. Let's go, Ginger. When you put the beer can in the butter of the chicken and it's just moist and just comes off the bone basically, yeah, man, it's amazing. Maniac is freaking lit, man. I did it 2 times in my past. Didn't do it too much, but it's one of my favorite ways to make a whole chicken. I love it on a spit too, on a spine, and then rotate it. Very nice too. But this is just so moistery. It's like sorry, I'm gonna stop now again. Yeah, dude, it's getting crazier every day, yo.